being prepped, right? Because that's important for marketing. I suggest that you create a batch of songs or content, and then you like have like at least 6 months of like planning and like being ahead of the game. So like for me, like I'm a little too far in that because like 13 songs is a lot, but like the stuff that's coming out after that I've planned is like very like indie folk and indie folk pop. And then and then after that it's like I don't know, back to pop, I guess.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Deficit Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Aubrey, and it is our mission today, as usual, to bring you your own sense of stimulation to supply and fill that deficit of yours through good chats, life hacks, and everything in between. I'm joined today with Christina Kennedy. She's a recording artist, brand new in the industry, self-acclaimed director and writer as well. And she joins me now today to talk about some of her music and her artistic ventures and just the life she's been living. So, Christina, how you doing?
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Why don't we start with, like, you just got out of high school, didn't you? You graduated a little while ago. You're in university now, right?
Yeah. I went to school. I actually didn't go to school in Vancouver. Do you know Salt Spring Island?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I spent my anniversary there last year.
Really?
Yeah, it was great.
Small island, small town. So I actually graduated from that high school, the one and only high school on the island.
Very cool.
And that was like this last, June? And then, this summer I went to Europe by myself. I did like one of those Kentucky trips, if you've ever heard of Kentucky. Like,
no.
You kind of just solo travel, meet a bunch of people.
And okay.
Yeah, and you just go together and you sort of like partying.
Cool.
Time.
Yeah,
so I did that, and then right after that I flew out to Toronto, and I'm studying at Ryerson, or Toronto Metropolitan University.
Wow.
Yeah, studying creative industries, and that's where I'm at right now.
Cool.
Sorry, that had nothing to do with about myself, but
well, it definitely does.
Yeah.
I mean, Salt Spring Island. So did you grow up out there?
No, I grew up in North Van, and then my parents have always owned like a cabin over there, so we would spend our summers there and like some weekends there, and it was kind of like our little getaway place. And then in grade 10 for me grade 10, when COVID was like an issue, a struggle, wanted to like get a change of scenery, I was just like, and I didn't love my current school, so I was like, I really wanted to do something really random and go to the island.
Nice.
And that's what we did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful over there. When I went out there with my wife for our anniversary, we stayed at this Airbnb, which was just like a Romani trailer. Like, they used to go, gypsy's not a good word to use anymore, but it was essentially like a just a little tiny blue house trailer thing. And it was in a field of literal daisies. It was just absolutely beautiful.
Do you know where it was?
Somewhere close to the west side of the island, I believe.
Okay.
I'm not really sure exactly where, though. I guess you would probably know, though, because there's
we don't really have like a west side. We only go like north and south. Like north one of the island, south. Yeah.
I guess closer to the north side of the island.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
That's where it's funny because that's where I guess our place is like northwest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you get any inspiration for your writing while you were there, for your music?
I actually did. I feel like being in such like a secluded, like kind of naturey, right? We don't have nature. We don't have traffic lights. We don't have a single traffic light on the island. So it's all stop signs. So I don't know, random fact. But being there, like being just like kind of like in the woods, definitely inspired a lot. It was just like me and my thoughts.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Did you manage to like what about being out in the woods and like nature and stuff? Like, do you have any specific songs that out of the ones that you've released so far that?
None that I've released so far. Definitely the ones that are upcoming. Actually, so my next release, which is called Waltz Lullaby, I haven't actually disclosed that yet, but Waltz Lullaby is coming out January 3rd, and that one is very inspired by like that kind of like scenery and just being like in this like far away place. Because I mean it's not that far, but it like it's sometimes
feels pretty far, yeah.
Sometimes being like on an island where you're just like so like you know, far from like the city and stuff like that. Like definitely is that like escapism.
Definitely. It's beautiful over there too, right? Like I want to go back so bad.
Yeah. It's really nice.
So you were on the island from grade 10 till your graduation year, and then you came back to North Van and then out to Toronto after that, or?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep, exactly.
How's Toronto going? Is that like, are you getting into the scene there, like musically and stuff?
Yeah, actually it's been very, very good. Yeah, I've done like 2 shows already, and I've been like out in like networking scenes. I'm actually headlining a show in the new year, so that's really cool.
Wow, good for you.
Thank you.
Wicked. What's the event called? Do you know where it is?
Yeah, Duffy's Tavern. It's like
nice.
Basically just like downtown Toronto, and yeah, I'm working with a promoter, and we're putting on like a university show. Like, and so like the openers are actually like 2 out of the 3 of them are at my university, so it's going to be more of like a university showcase, which is going to be dope because that's like honestly the best exposure that you can have is like your age, your crowd, and yeah, just like people that you are with more.
What's the creative scene like at the U of T there where you go? Is that the same
TMU?
one? Yeah, TMU, sorry, yeah.
No, all good. It's a really creative school actually. It's U of T's not creative.
No,
it's very eng kids.
I see.
But TMU, yeah, no, there's a lot of like creative programs because we have like the creative school, and in the creative school there's like I don't know, 13 different like programs, or like I don't know, what do you call them, like I guess like the faculty of the creative school. I don't even know. I don't know how institutions work. Anyway,
you and me both. It's all good,
yeah. But yeah, no, it's a very creative scene. I feel like everyone's like pretty artsy there, and everyone's like nice. Like I walk down the street and everyone's like dressed really like artistically, and I'm like, you are very creative.
Fashion.
You're fashion. There's like a big fashion school like in our school, so that's really cool.
Awesome.
And then the music program is awesome. I'm not in the music program, but like what I've heard of it is really good. It's very like business oriented too, which is key in the industry. It's
especially nowadays.
Yeah. So what I like about like kind of the creative school that we have at TMU is like it's very focused on like today's like I would say it's like very like entrepreneurial and like very so very business focused compared to like like Humber School of Music is like theory.
Yeah.
Which I mean is great. You should know theory, but
theory is good, but it's kind of like
I feel like it just doesn't take you to heights that you want to go in like media.
It's about the knowledge and not how to profit from the knowledge, right? That's the whole theory. So
yeah.
It's like you can like that's why they say like jazz musicians are the most overqualified bar performers you can find, right? Because like, they go to school for these immensely long, intensive periods of time to learn like the science and the maths of like all kinds of music.
Yeah.
But then they don't learn how to like promote themselves and like create like
it only
brand,
goes so
right?
far, but it is really cool to like talk to someone who knows that. It's pretty sick.
Oh yeah. Like so what's the biggest takeaway you've had so far as what you've learned for self-promotion as an artist at the university?
That's a journey that is never ending, and I'm still very much learning right now. Let me repeat the question. Like self-promotion?
Yeah, are there any tools or methods that the school has made you aware of that you weren't aware of prior?
To be honest, not really yet. I feel like everything that they've been teaching me is just reinforcing like the habits that I'm trying to build, which is basically just going out into the scene. It's a lot of it is networking, so just like surrounding yourself in environments that you want to push yourself to. Yeah. So like I do a lot of research in my spare time about like like workshop events or free like things that I can just go attend to like meet people, and then pushing like being as active as you can on social media is a big one, and cold pitching on social media and being like, hey, if you like this artist, you might like my stuff, like just like stuff like that. I mean, cool. It is a little annoying for the other person, but I mean, it's kind of necessary because I have to say it has presented me some pretty cool opportunities just by doing that. Like the annoying shit.
So when you're talking cold pitching on social media, can you get into more detail with that for me?
Just honestly, like reaching out. Well, there's like, let me see. There's 3 different types of people that you kind of reach out to. So there's like, you know, the business exec people, the label people, like PR and like the marketing side of stuff. So, you know, you kind of reach out and be like, hey, like this is my stuff, would love to like see where that goes, and just cater it to like that company. And then there's like the collaborations, like other musicians and producers and stuff, which is honestly my favorite because I love creating. That's my thing. So yeah, that's just like, you know, listening to their music and being like, oh, I see how we could be a good fit, and like you might like my stuff. And then there's of course like the listeners, the most important, because without listeners you would be or artists would be nowhere, to be honest. Very true. So it's just basically, well, first of all, I thank people that listen to my music, and then I also for new listeners, I'll be like, hey, and then, you know, you like, I see that you like this artist because, you know, I looked at like this famous person's following list, and I stalked them, and then I found you, and I was, no, you don't say that, just, you know, you don't say that, but you're basically doing that, and you're like, hey, you like this artist, so you might like my stuff if you want to check it out. And a lot of time they're actually very nice about it. They're not
cool. Yeah, that's good. They like to share the promotion, right? Like, kind of grow symbiotically or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
And whoever promotes you, it's really important that you promote them back and not just take that for yourself.
The mutual advancement. It's that's kind of what we're building all this Omnia Theater thing on too. Is like being able to create a community for artists and creative people alike to be able to access each other and grow off of each other's followers and stuff. Right?
Yeah. Like it's such a great space. It's a great idea.
Well, I mean, when you think about like how much power these giant studios have and like all that, the only way to, you know, initiate some sort of change in any industry. Was that your foot?
Yeah, it just
sounded like it felt great. Was that good? Can you move around? Yeah,
it was a good.
Wicked, nice. We should almost just do ASMR chiropractic in the studio sometimes. I feel like that would get us more views than anything.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah,
that's genius. Just like zoom in real quick.
Well, we could get our
actually don't zoom in.
That's gonna zoom in on the foot. No. Come on, do it. Do it for all the feet people watching out there. Zoom in on the feet. There you go. Even the slippered ones. Yeah. Where was I going again? We were talking about, so the whole point of like what we do and stuff is like to try and initiate some change so that these giant predatory labels need to eventually like change their structure as well. And like, as history's kind of shown, whenever you're taking on entities that have like mass amounts of money and like, you know, that kind of power, then it takes a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
Right? So
takes an empire of a team.
Yeah. So we're, you know, kind of hoping to get that all moving along, and that's kind of why we get wonderful artists like yourself and stuff like that. But enough of pumping up the company tires or whatever.
No, it's great.
I want to know, I was listening to your music on the way over here. I think the song's called All Night. Is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
Lana Del Rey? Do you listen to a lot of Lana Del Rey?
I actually don't listen to a lot of Lana Del Rey.
Okay, so I'm getting like
that's a huge compliment though, because Lana Del Rey she's an icon.
It had very much like the same sort of like whimsical, sullen and chill kind of vibes. I don't know. There's a certain ambience to the beats that you use. Do you make your own instrumentals as well?
I don't make my own instrumentals. I typically go into the studio and work with the producer. I mean, I have a vision for what I want it to sound like. So I'll be like, here's what I want it to do, what I want, and I'll lay out the chords and I'll lay out the progression, and then be like, oh, I would love, like, for example, strings to come in here, because like I know like what I want. I don't know how to do it, and then because they know how to do the magic.
I feel that.
They obviously would have like some say in the creative input as well, which I think is dope, because like they'll like do something and I'll be like, oh yeah, do more of that.
That's the one. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, the instrumental in that track was awesome. I am a huge sucker for nylon string guitars on anything with a beat. It's just like,
I wish I could play. Do you play guitar?
Yeah. Not as much as I used to, but I've since we started doing this Omnia Theater thing, and the incentive was all about, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Reigniting the creative spark in people. So I was like, maybe I should start picking up my strings again. So I did.
You should do a whole podcast episode on you talking about nylon strings.
Nylon strings, yeah. I did actually start when I first started playing guitar. I did learn on classical, so I used to pick like that.
Did you do like RCM? Do you know what that is?
RCM, no.
Like Royal Conservatory of Music? Because you said classical, so that was like
I it's just my teacher was originally classically trained flamenco guitarist. So she had me starting on that at first, but I just really wanted to get into punk music and death metal. So she quickly moved me forward. But it
like
was
one man does.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a plethora of other genres that I've gotten into now, but back at that point when I was like 14, 15, like it was like I just want to play heavy metal.
Yeah.
I feel so hardcore.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like
that's what I find a lot in the industry actually too, is like a lot of people, like a lot of musicians that I mean it's really rare to find a musician, not a producer, a musician who like likes to play like, you know, styles, to just be like, oh, I want to play like pop music. You know, no one really does that.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely like a lot of the musicians that I work with are like heavy metal, and they love heavy metal and rock, and like, yeah. So it's really interesting because I'll be like pitching like my pop music and be like, here's where you could incorporate it.
Yeah.
But if you know.
Well, it's the technical aspect of it, right? Like the people who play in those genres are generally like a little more like advanced. You have to be very capable.
Yeah.
And so like especially if you're a professional guitarist, if you can't play those genres, or if you have a hard time doing it, you shouldn't be calling yourself a professional, right? Because that's like the standard for a lot of people that you might get hard to work with.
Yeah.
So whole wild thing. But yeah, I've played guitar for a long time. I had a bit of a sabbatical from it for a while, going into working and shit, and you know, but you know,
retirement phase.
Yeah, turned 30, midlife crisis, time to pick it up again. You know, kind of where it went.
Start over, start the life over.
Yeah,
and, like,
you'll
go
see.
busk the streets.
Yeah, right. Someday maybe we'll see. I'm hoping to get some jam nights going on in here at some point, which would be kind of fun. Yeah. Yeah, so tell me about your influences though. Like, who is the first person you heard and you're like, I want to do that?
Okay, this is so, because that question sparks a few answers. Okay, for my first answer is I've never like had a sole like influence. Like I've always been musically inclined.
Plethora of people though that you've kind of.
Yeah, I'd say so. Okay, so when I grew up doing like RCM and like you know, like classical piano, was not good at it, stopped very soon after, and then self-taught again because I'm like, damn, I actually kind of need this to like be able to write songs.
Piano is important.
Yeah, and then, you know, around the age of like 11, 12, I started writing my own songs, or like just really like, you know, like sad kid stuff. Just, very, very, I don't even know.
Were you all in your feels in your little emo phase?
Yeah, my little emo phase.
Yeah, every kid goes through it, even though the trend is over.
Middle school, like, that was some hardship there. But so someone that inspired me at that time is actually Tate McRae. She's actually getting a lot. Do you know Tate McRae?
No.
Okay, she's a pop artist. She's a really successful dancer. And then she posted these YouTube videos and it was like, create with Tate. And she was also like, 2 years older than me. So I was like, oh, if this like 14-year-old girl is just like posting these YouTube videos, and like she had like a MIDI, and I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, a MIDI. Like, wow, what is that tool? You know, I need one. So then I asked for it for Christmas.
Nice.
And I was like playing on it. Couldn't really figure it out because I couldn't use a DAW at the time. So it didn't really come to much use.
Nice.
But she inspired me just like based on like her posting on YouTube and releasing all these like her also like teenage phase of music. So that's kind of like where it sparked my inspiration to like do the same. And then growing up, I feel like stylistically now it's a mix. I get inspired, like I love Billie Eilish. I love like
that I guess All Night also has kind of that vibe too.
A little bit. Yeah. Well,
she definitely brought that
woman.
Sound too, right? Like I hadn't heard anything like Billie Eilish until Billie Eilish came out. And it was
I think that's why she's so inspiring to me, is just because like you've just never it's Billie Eilish. She's just like one of a kind, you know?
It was like sad girl pop meets hip hop meets like a whole it was really interesting.
I think I just love like her vulnerability in a lot of things. So like that's where I get a lot of like that side of it, because like I love to be vulnerable with my music. I feel like that's a really cool quality.
It's important too. You know, I mean, like people say that music is your therapy a lot of times, especially when you write it, right? And so being able to get your feelings out on paper and like process it.
I think it's good. It's good for me. It's good for the people that need to hear it. So it's good for everyone.
Yeah. Has it helped you through harder points in your life?
Oh,
having music? Yeah.
Oh yeah. 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 Period. Yes.
Period. Yeah. Okay. We won't dig on that, but
no, it's okay. I feel like I can't really think of like a specific point where if I'm angry, I don't typically write songs, but it's more like I'm angry and then I it turns into sadness and then like you reflect on that and then it's like you have something to write about then because you see it, you process it and you're like now you have a story to go off of.
Yeah.
And then sometimes then you can in the how do I word this? Like on the opposite side, like if you're like a heavy metal person, you know, you're just like always like this is the emotion that I'm feeling.
Yeah, it's crazy how like you ever watched the movie Trolls? Have you seen Trolls?
Like the Disney one?
Like the little animated trolls, right? Have you watched any of them? Any of those movies?
The first one.
Okay, so
I don't remember it. It was a
there's
while
like
ago.
2, 3, and 4. No, I started watching them because one night I did mushrooms and it was on the TV. I was like, this is amazing.
You're just like, wow, Trolls is life changing.
Yeah, no, because Trolls 3 is like there's different Trolls nations and they're each different music genres. And like they kind of all have different vibes and emotions that are being put forward and stuff, right? And it's like I've never actually seen anything more true to what music is, because like depending on how you're feeling and if you have an eclectic taste in music, like there is a song and a genre for every emotion on the spectrum out there, right? Like so, death metal, it's like if you feel mad and you don't have a punching bag, you can listen to heavy metal music and sometimes that helps. Other times you can listen to it when you're feeling underempowered. Like you don't have it to stand on. The music makes you feel powerful. Stuff like, hip hop. It's just it can be so many things. And like the greatest part about all of that is like some people can't do talk therapy, right? It doesn't do anything for them. But being able to listen to something that helps to pull that emotion out. Like John Mayer when you're breaking up as a teenager. John Mayer is a great breakup guy.
I haven't listened to much of John Mayer, but
oh my goodness, it's a good
maybe
thing you
should.
haven't. Yeah, it's a sad thing. It's not that good.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. It's good. It's just it's kind of dated nowadays. Like there's a lot of other artists out there who will be able to
emulate the same
yeah. So
But that wraps back to the inspiration though, because like I get inspired a lot about like breakup songs and like love songs like that. I mean that's like the most typical like topic, but
there's a reason though.
There is a reason.
Everybody goes through it.
That's hardship.
Yeah,
that is hardship. But like also the other artists like that are so like Billie Eilish. We talked about Billie Eilish, but like also like Olivia and like there's this new artist that I'm really inspired by right now, Gracie Abrams. I don't know, you probably haven't heard of her, but she's like this upcoming like alt pop artist. So her sound is amazing. She has like this very like whispery tone, and like I love like the production behind all of her songs. Nice. It's just so unique. So Gracie Abrams, Lizzie McAlpine, and Billie and Olivia. Those are like probably my 4 inspirations.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good repertoire of inspirations.
They're all kind of in that pop genre, but like, got a little bit of folk and R&B elements, and like that's kind of like where I'm still trying to figure out like I wouldn't like to confine myself to one like genre. I mean, like overall it's like a pop umbrella, but like I love folk music.
Well, I mean, pop music is kind of like ever changing, right? Because it's whatever is popular at the time, right? Like the Beatles were pop, right? Like and
were they actually?
Oh,
they're considered pop?
Oh yeah, Elvis was pop, like because it was the pop culture. It was popular culture music, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, at one time people were calling Metallica pop because they were the #1 selling band in the world for like 10 straight years.
Wow.
So they're like,
I would have considered all of them like rock.
Yeah, well that's the thing, right? It's like you could call it classic pop rock, but back then that was the pop music, right? Like Beach Boys too, like, and that's going way back. But like, pop is ever changing. That's what's so interesting about it as a genre. Is like you can be at any point in time, pop can sound completely different.
That's true.
Right?
That is true. It is ever changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and then they try to like mix it in with all these other things. Like, you listen to Blink-182?
I don't, but I've heard.
Okay, so it was the pop punk days. Blink-182 and even Green Day was called pop punk. It's but like it's I think it's a healthy genre to be focusing on mainly because like it does allow you to still appreciate change in artists when in a lot of other ones, like if like we keep coming back to this, but like in the metal world, like if a band decides to go and pivot to like a different style of playing, they are just ostracized. Like the fan base immediately hates on them because it's different. And it's like,
yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I feel like it's weird because like change is like necessary, but like I feel like a lot of people don't do well with it.
Yeah.
And then, but it's also really cool because like I think that we need to change like the popular like the culture industry. Like I think like there needs to be change. Yeah, and definitely that's kind of like going with like the vulnerability side. I think there needs to be more of that. And I like commend artists who are like just so raw with their songs, and I'm like, whoa, like that's inspiring to me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where do you plan? Like you said, you're still trying to find your sound, right? Is that kind of like what you're? So, what are you doing to help that? Are you just writing a bunch, or are you like going
I listen
out
to a bunch of artists. I write a bunch of different styles. I work with a bunch of different people, and I see what like hits. And it doesn't have to like confine. Like I go through like phases. Like right now, so I feel like the stuff that I have out right now is pretty just like generic alt pop. Like it's not radio pop. It's more just like alternative. It's still poppy. Still like got like All Night is R&B-ish, like R&B and like almost like folky because it's guitar.
Yeah,
right?
It's got a smooth kind of almost like a flamenco sound of the guitar because it is a nylon string that he's picking there, right? Yeah, and it's smooth. It's nice. Yeah. I like it.
So like, and then the stuff that like is yet to come out very soon, I would say is very like sad pop. It's very it's
sad girl
pop.
pop.
Very very deep stuff. Probably like the truest form to like me, which I'm excited to share. I'm a little nervous to share.
Yeah.
But I think it's like it's very much like when I release it, I'll be like, hey guys, like this is me,
That's exciting. That's really cool.
Yeah. So like that's the stuff that's coming out, and then like after that, because I'm like, I kind of got like over 13 songs ready to go, which is crazy because that's like over a year of like being prepped, right? Because that's important for marketing. I suggest that you create a batch of songs or content, and then you like have like at least 6 months of like planning and like being ahead of the game. So like for me, like I'm a little too far in that because like 13 songs is a lot, but like the stuff that's coming out after that I've planned is like very like indie folk and indie folk pop. And then and then after that it's like I don't know, back to pop, I guess. Back to like radio pop, like fun pop. So that's the stuff that I'm currently working on.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, but I guess like everything you're kind of just working on. Like I mean, like I'll have like new ideas all the time for the stuff that like is already done, and then I'll be like, not that you can go back into the mix or the master, but like
you can change some things.
You can change some things and
on there,
and change like your branding for the thing.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
There's an artist named Beck. He's been around for a long time, but he's one of those people who have like continuously changed his sound. I just listened to his most recent album, and it used to be like he was out in like the late 90s, early 2000s, his first records, and they were like kind of, I guess kind of like rock, folk kind of vibe now. But now his most recent album that came out, it's like straight up synth pop, like very, very synthy and like.
I love synth pop.
Oh, it's a cool sound too, and it sounds like retro modern pop music. Yeah, it's really neat. That's definitely
Who is this?
His name's Beck.
Oh, okay.
Highly recommend. Really cool songs. He's like,
okay, Beck.
Yeah, he goes everywhere. He goes everywhere and does everything. It's like this Swiss Army knife of like music genres. Yeah. What do you find? Like, where do you want to be in 10 years though? Like when you go back to Toronto after this and you start doing your thing, when that picks up, what's going to be a sign for you? Like, is there a dream venue for you or a city that you want to play or like, and why?
Those are good questions. Good questions.
Thank you. Can you believe I make them up on the fly?
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Improv game? No other.
Right?
No other.
Looking at the champ right here.
But yeah, no. Wait, 5 to 10 years?
Yeah. Let's just say 10. 10 years out. I think 10's a good number because that's like a whole new version of you at that point.
I don't even think I can like picture that far, to be honest. Like, okay, between the 5 to 10 spectrum, I would definitely like I would love to play like Vancouver. Like I would love to play like, you know, okay, a starting point is like Vogue Theater, you know, like stuff like that.
Wicked venue.
Yeah,
Very
it's stuff
cool
like that.
spot.
I feel like that's achievable in the next 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that could be achievable. Same with like similar size venue like in Toronto. My first show in Toronto, I played the Drake Underground or the Drake Hotel, which is a very famous venue. And
I was going to ask you about that.
When people like, when I tell people that, they're like, "Whoa, you just moved here and you played the Drake?" Like it's not like an easy venue to get. Yeah.
No, that's I've even heard about it over here. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's international. Like, people know about the Drake. It's kind of like the Commodore Ballroom here, even.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like,
also the Commodore Ballroom. That'd be great.
It's a fucking wild place. You know, apparently that stage, the dance floor used to be supported by like matted horsehair or something. Like, that's how they kept the floor from breaking. I know, weird, right?
Okay. Well, hopefully it doesn't break and then all his hair.
Yeah, right. I don't know if it's still supported by that.
That'd be crazy.
I don't even, and to be honest, like,
Horse-storm.
that's only shit that I've heard. It's not like I've gone on the website and Googled like what's underneath the floor at the Commodore Ballroom. Turns out there's a bunch of dead people.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, right?
They know. No.
It's part of that music cult. The Commodore is one of those sacrificial layers. You know?
Yeah.
They bring in Madonna and like Bruce Springsteen and stuff, and they sacrifice a child, all that shit. The whole cabal thing, right? Yeah.
Yep. The Commodore Ballroom, guys.
I know all about you, Commodore. We're coming for you. Don't you worry.
Still hire me though.
Yeah, still hire me.
Still hire me. Still get me out.
Come on, let me take my podcast on your stage. It'll be great.
Yeah.
It'll be so much fun. Yeah.
But yeah, so like those are like things that I feel like in the next 5 years could be definitely attainable. But like next 10 years, it would be such a dream to play like Rogers. Oh my god. Rogers? And, like, just like that'd be a massive dream. That's just like dream shit, you know?
I mean, it's attainable. Like, a lot of people play Rogers. You could probably get that, right?
We'll see. It's definitely a dream. And I think, I don't even know. That's like too cool to like even think about.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to see how excited you get about it. It means you're definitely in the right place.
Yeah, I definitely like have this dream to like bring people together, especially like in my shows. Like I feel like as of right now, like, you know, I like to do like a lot of like engagement with my shows and stuff like that, like just making people feel good and like kind of like breaking the fourth wall and like, you know, like have them participate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just, you know, get them pumped because like at the end of the day, it's not my show, it's almost their show, you know?
Yeah, well that's
just like it's not really it is my music, but it's their music.
It's their experience.
It's their experience. Yeah. So it's like, you know, like any good business, you got to provide the value. You got to provide. The service.
Listen to you, eh? 18 and already an entrepreneur. That's hilarious. Way to go.
It's it's the school.
It's the school.
I do credit TMU for that.
Maybe I should go take a semester there. Jesus, sounds like you're learning some good stuff over there.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but you can also, you know, like for anyone who is watching, you could also go on YouTube and like watch this podcast.
Oh yeah,
you can watch this podcast.
Don't worry, we'll throw the pitches out there at the end of it. They'll get it. We'll throw the hashtags up and stuff like that.
But bringing people together is like a dream. Like I feel like at Rogers, like I actually haven't like said this to anyone except my roommate who's out there and my other roommate, and I was like, we were talking about like, you know, all of our dreams like in the future, and I was like saying, like it would be like so cool to just like be like on stage and then like do something where you're just like, like, okay, like now, like I want everyone to like, you know, go say hi to someone and tell them like how beautiful they look tonight and like stuff like that, and like go introduce yourself because, you know, like it's a lonely city, you know, everyone like, and I want to bring people together, and I feel like that's something that like I would have wanted, or like I would love that experience myself. Mm-hmm. So to like be able to like kind of like facilitate that.
Like a magic moment at a concert.
Magic moment, right? Yeah.
Like, that's where somebody meets their future husband or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Future best friend, or just feel like they're not alone in this big city, because like Vancouver is cliquey as fuck, and sometimes it's really hard to make friends in this city.
I hear that a lot about Vancouver, and like I'm from a smaller town called Kamloops up the way, but like I moved to Vancouver, and like I guess it's just because I work in film. Like the people I met were just generally all sort of, I guess film's kind of cliquey because of the departments and stuff, but I haven't really noticed much. I'm also a little bit more socially introverted than I once was, but like, I hear everybody saying about how it's cliquey, and I guess maybe I just haven't been out enough.
I've noticed it going to Toronto, actually. I've noticed that like people are so much more, not so much more, a little bit more open. Like it's easier to talk to like random people at the bus station, or it's just like I find
random people at the bus station.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, or just like I don't know.
Well, it's true because that used to be like a normal thing. People didn't like have a phone to hide away on. They could like you sit at a bus stop and there's someone else there. You say hi.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you don't just like look at them and just pretend they don't exist. Right.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I've noticed, but maybe it's also placebo because people have said that. So I have no idea.
Either way, it's real.
Yeah.
Placebo effect is a real thing. So it's.
That's true. That is true, actually. Yeah. This is now a talk on placebo.
The placebo
and
effect.
the psychological effects.
This isn't a podcast. I've just told you it's a podcast enough that you believe it's a podcast now.
Oh, this is trippy shit.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't it blowing your fucking mind right now? So when you're doing these concerts, though, you said you want to bring people together. Do you have any examples of like a show that you were at where that's happened to you? Like any artists or like concerts?
Like
in particular? Like where you've had a magic moment at a show.
No, actually.
No?
I've seen it online. I feel like it's not very common. No, I have not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's
I feel like if I love the music, I tend to be that like lunatic who's like, like in the nosebleed seats that is just screaming and like saying hi to everyone, like, oh my god, you love this artist too. Me too.
Okay, so you are the magic moment, is what you're saying. In other words,
no, I'm not the magic moment, but I love to. I think I'm a little expressive when I really like something.
Yeah, there's probably somebody who you were like expressive towards at like a concert. He's like, this girl just said hi to me and it was incredible, and maybe he remembered that for the rest of his life.
Maybe he's just like, damn, that's awkward, and I don't really. Like, no, thank you. Yeah,
polar opposite could also be true. Especially in today's society, everyone's so shut in and like everyone's afraid of each other.
Especially in Vancouver, they're like, "Yeah, you got your friend group, I got mine."
It's just so weird to me. I don't know. Growing up, I never really had a clique. Like I was so ADHD that like I was just constantly bouncing between everybody.
That is so relatable. That is so relatable.
Yeah, like
I've never had a friend group growing up, actually.
Yeah?
No, I've had like if I look at like my friends like in the city, they're like all over. They're like Quitlam, Burnaby, like Delta, like it's not like North Van or anything.
I had like a core group of like 5 friends that I knew from kindergarten. Each one of them ended up going into like different cliques, I guess. And like for me, it was like I'd go to my classes in the morning, lunchtime I'd go get high, go to guitar class after that. So I'd be stoners, musicians, and then after school football practice. So
it's good. You're adaptable.
You're adaptable.
Yeah. You can fit into any social situation.
Yeah. It was good. At least I was.
It's a little bit of like a lonely experience, but it's definitely like a good quality when you like are an adult, I think.
Yeah, it's helpful for
That's what I'm telling myself anyway, because if that is not true, I'll be upset.
It is. You'll be fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
You'll be great.
Okay.
It's a great quality
affirmation.
To have. And for networking, it is the best thing to have.
That is also, yeah.
And networking is, as you probably know already, very important.
I love networking. Networking is like one of my favorite parts of the job, to be honest. I love meeting people.
You go to any soirees or anything? Like, have you met any people you've been networking with who are like, come to this fancy thing we're doing, you'll come meet lots of people?
The only like fancy-ish, it's not even like a soiree, but like in the film industry, like Crazy Eights, like stuff like that.
Yeah. I did the run-in last year.
Yeah, the galas are so fun.
I actually still haven't been to a gala. I'm in the Directors Guild and I still haven't gone to any of their functions or events, and we just had like the year-end gala last week.
Yeah.
Should have gone. Yeah. I guess not. I'll have to pick up on that more. It's just weird having to.
Or like as like an actor, like I also do some acting. I do have like an acting agent. Haven't gotten anything from my agent, but like like the events that you get like invited to, like, or at least like what did I won like this award. It was called the Joey Award. I think it's like a Vancouver.
The Joey Award.
It's I don't know if it's Canada wide or if it's just Vancouver, but it's for actors. It's for like young upcoming actors, and then I won. It was really weird. I won an award for it, but I really don't think I deserved it. But okay, I'll take it. And then it was a red carpet event, but I unfortunately missed it because I don't even know what I was doing. But it looked cool.
Cool.
It looked cool. Like everyone got up and like said their little speech and like they walked down the red carpet, and I was like, that seems like a cool opportunity.
Nice. What kind of movies do you want to act in? Like, are there any specific styles of movies that you want to like be a part of?
I would really like to do horror.
Horror films, cool,
Yeah,
nice.
That'd be really fun.
They
It'd
are
just be a fun set.
They are the most fun to work on.
Have you?
Yeah,
really?
I've worked on a couple horror movies. Yeah. I've also worked on a couple horror series.
Oh, you should put a word in for me in the future.
I wish if I was networked with any of the casting directors, I would. I'll definitely keep you in mind if I ever end up talking to one.
Yeah.
But I'm an assistant director, so like
No, AD is so important.
Yeah.
AD
We
is
just
so important.
The finding actors part of it is not really a side of it that I'm into, though. I'm like,
that's true.
We're like management essentially, right? Like,
yeah.
We make sure everything runs smooth and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to work close with cast that way and stuff. But
yeah.
You want to know what some of the worst sets to work on are, though? Honestly,
enlighten me. What?
Comedies.
Really? They're just like not funny.
They're when you're shooting them.
It just gets old.
Not really. Yeah. Well, like there's like a lot of times people are ad-libbing, right? Like they're just kind of trying to come up with something on the fly.
Yeah.
So they'll call roll and action on the cameras, and everyone will have to stay quiet while these people at a table or wherever they are just throw random comedic lines out there and hope something sticks.
Yeah.
And like you're not allowed to talk, laugh, or anything. And they'll go for like 15, 20 minutes. It's like you might as well be doing a 5-page monologue.
Oh, is that why it's like horrible? Because you want to laugh? Like the crew wants to laugh? Or
well, whether you want to laugh or not, it's just like you don't usually just keep it rolling for that long. Usually it's like, you know.
Yeah.
4 or 5 minutes is a pretty long
It's a long
shot, right?
Yeah, it is.
And these guys have it locked down for like 10, 15, where they're just trying to get these lines going and stuff. It's interesting. And
that's kind of cool though, because then you get to pick your best. Like, I mean,
you
got a lot of options to choose from.
Yeah, it was a good experience. It was actually a little disappointing though, because I was like, yeah, finally comedy, and then it's like, oh. Now he's good here. But horror movies are cool because like the special effects makeup, you get to like there's all kinds of neat shit. It's just like you're up.
I wanna have like crazy wicked makeup and then look in the mirror and then like scare the crap out of me. That'd be funny. That'd be funny. And my dream trailer. Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind because we have had a special effects makeup artist on here, and we've also had a couple of writers. We have a lot of people that we could get a little horror film. I actually know someone that I'm having on next week, and she's got a couple horror shorts written. So I'll keep you in mind if you want to get some cool fucking ghouly makeup on or something.
That's so cool. That. Yeah. I would say like horror would be fun. I also like just like big impactful movies. I can't really think of one off the top of my head, but just like stuff like that. That'd be cool.
Like Yeah, I can't think of one either, actually, as far as
Barbie. No,
because don't short sell that. It is impactful. It was huge.
It is so impactful, but
big on the culture right there. Yeah. Oppenheimer, I guess, was also big. And
it was big. I wouldn't act in Oppenheimer. I don't know how you pronounce it.
A Christopher Nolan flick is they're heavyweight movies. Those are like
it was really long.
Yes,
but it was it did lose me a little bit, to be completely honest, but it was still a good bonding time with my parents who really enjoyed it.
That's good. That's good. That's hilarious. Yeah. Were your parents always supportive of you being a musician, of like going into the arts and stuff? Really?
Yeah. So both my parents are accountants, which is so wild because they have no musical experience, no musical anything. Like even like both sides of like my family, like my extended family, like no one's musical. It's crazy. I was just like that off person, and I think it was like. Yeah, it was really cool when like they were like, yeah, like go for it. And I think when they started to see me take it seriously was when they were like more in for it as well. Like, I mean, they were the ones that like put me into like piano lessons and vocal lessons, but they saw that I enjoyed it and clearly like loved doing it on stage and was hopefully pretty good at it. So they were like, okay, I see her. Do
you do some dancing too and stuff then, or?
I can dance. I wouldn't say I can dance. I really. Like I did it for like my San Diego music video, and I like to do like drop-in classes at Harbor. I don't know if you know Harbor Studios.
Yeah.
It's downtown. Yeah, I like to do like those like drop-in hip-hop classes. So like it's a fun outlet. Never would I ever want to be a dancer. Like I commend dancers. My roommate's a dancer. She's amazing, but like
it's a fucking hard line of work. Too.
It is.
Like
it is.
It's like kind of like being a musician, except like I feel like dancers get hired less for performances than musicians do even. So you gotta
say that again.
Like dancers, in my experience, I've seen a lot more shows where there's musicians rather than dancers, right? Like there's like there are like don't get me wrong, you sell out a big theater with like a whole dance routine and stuff, but like considering how many dancers there are in the world, it's like it's a tough career. You know, like people like Like Jabberwockies from So You Think You Can Dance. I don't know if did you ever see them on that show?
I never watched So You Think You Can Dance, but I mean, I've seen a couple episodes. But
so they were like huge for about 2 years after they won, and now like I think they're just like a regular doing gigs kind of dance group.
It's dope. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I like dance. Like, I like that I can dance. I think it's like important to have like some dance skill in the arts. Like, I mean, in the future, like, if I did play like stadiums like Rogers and stuff like that, like to have like some choreographed number would be dope, you know?
Well, especially if you're gonna be a pop artist, right?
Yeah.
Like
those are just so fun to watch.
Yeah.
They're so fun to watch.
100%, man.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the best example of that?
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that considering the literal like.
I love Taylor Swift though. And
she's huge.
and Megan's a diehard Taylor Swift fan. Like we've been listening to so much Taylor Swift, but she's amazing. Have you seen like the Eras movie?
I haven't watched it. No,
it is so good.
My wife is huge into Taylor Swift.
Mind blowing. Oh my goodness, it's mind blowing.
I heard that when she played at LA, the whole arena was sold out, and the crowd jumping actually registered like a 4.2 magnitude on the Richter scale, like a fucking earthquake scale. Like people could actually they could pick it up on the sensors, because like there's like what's the total seating for the LA arena? I think it's like 90,000 people or something. It's huge. Everyone jumping in unison. Like, can you imagine that much weight?
That's crazy. No, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people.
She could have her own cult if she really tried. Like,
I think she does. I think she already has her like Swift army.
I guess so. There is a Swift army.
Yeah, and I think like she's such an impactful person. Like even in the music industry, like it's like she's made a lot of changes. So I mean, a positive cult.
Yeah.
A positive cult.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
She's definitely been like the least controversial one too, which has been kind of nice. Like I don't ever have to read about how Taylor Swift said this or that or whatever, and everybody.
She's always been like polite and neutral, and I think that's a great influence. I mean, yeah.
People tried to give her shit for being neutral for a long time too. It's like, no, she doesn't want to pick a side. Let her not pick a side. Like, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of wild, man. So
I agree. I think it takes a lot of like skill to do that though. Like I mean everyone has an opinion.
100%, but to remain neutral and like stay
and
neutral
stay calm and stay.
Yeah.
I mean there was like this one thing in her documentary that she like, you know, like had to speak up about politics, but that was, you know, she was passionate and I don't blame her. I would probably do the same thing if I was like, this is the right decision, and she does have influence, so
yeah. I mean when you need to use it.
When you need to use it.
Should, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, use it for the right reasons. Use it for the right reasons, but yeah.
Where do you want to go after Toronto? Once you're done this whole crazy thing, are you going to keep on trying to play in Canada, or are you hoping to go down to the States?
That's a good question. I don't know if the States always has like good opportunity, but it's the States.
Yeah, it's the States.
It's
the
States. I really like Canada. I see myself living in Canada. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'd do like a year out there or see what happens, you know.
I mean, the UK's got a pretty huge music scene too.
The UK would be fun. Actually, I would so prefer going to the UK for an amount of time than
London music scene is fucking popping.
Yeah.
Has been for a long time, right?
I actually collaborated with a London artist on one of my songs, and it was cool because he worked with Sony recently.
Oh,
so I
cool.
was like, that's sick. That's really cool. Good for you.
That's a behemoth of a label right there, Sony. Jesus.
Yeah.
They're huge. I mean, obviously, that's like stating this wall is.
And actually, like in one of my networking endeavors, I did actually get into contact with someone who worked there for 11 years, which is really cool because now we're.
Nice.
It is a cool opportunity, but like, you know, you can't get your hopes up. It's just a connection, you know.
Sounds like you're networking.
I tell you, networking is key. Networking's key.
This university's really helped you with that, I guess.
This is a non-university thing.
Really?
This is me just like finding random shit and like pursuing it and even going by myself.
Hustling.
It is the hustle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gotta respect the hustle.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Very cool.
But London's cool.
Have you found any what's your favorite part of Toronto so far? Like, I mean, like aside from like the music thing, like is there like a particular kind of food you've been able to indulge in or anything?
The Vancouver food scene is so much better.
Really?
I think so. Well, I mean, Vancouver's known for its food though.
That's
so
true.
Like,
yeah.
But I mean, Toronto has a great arts culture, not just for music. It's just very vibrant.
Well, it's like, what, 50 kilometers from New York practically, right?
Yeah.
So it's like right there.
I have yet to go to Niagara Falls. I really want to do that. Distillery District's really beautiful. There's a bunch of just like suburbs that I like as well, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't honestly explored too much of it, but yeah.
Okay. So you're just getting into university. Are there any hopes as far as like the type of people you're going to hope to meet throughout this? Are there certain roles that you're hoping to have come into your life from other people to help you with your career? Like, are there yeah?
I mean, it's great because like it's like, you know, like the university is very creative, and like I've been getting in contact with like the newspaper of the school and the radio stations of the school, and hopefully like those just like little skills that you should build. Like I would love to like see like those environments and then meet those people and see what they have to offer. But then like, yeah, other than that, I don't know. I want to join more clubs.
Clubs.
If
Cool.
I have the time, I would love to join more clubs.
Which clubs would you like to be a part of?
Or just like maybe not clubs, but like just like the drop-ins that like our like athletic center has, like these like drop-in dance classes, drop-in like what do they have? I would do yoga.
Nice.
Just like stuff like that. But
okay, it keeps you stimulated. You know, doing the different things. You know,
like intramural volleyball. I love volleyball. Volleyball is really, really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, just like stuff like that. I just want to like people are great. People are great.
So you just want to get around more people.
Yeah.
Try new things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really good. You know, it's
go out and learn something from somebody. And I've like every time like I go to the gym, or not every time I go to the gym, but like if I meet someone and they express interest, like I mean it's just like basic like conversation skill, but like when someone expresses like an interest in something, I'll be like, oh, like I want to learn how to do that, like teach me how to do that, you know? Like someone will be like a gym rat and I'll be like, you know, like I kind of suck. I don't suck at going to the gym, but you know what I mean? Like, you can be my gym buddy and teach me shit, you know?
I very much resonate with that
Yeah.
sentiment. The same thing. I before I got into film, I had 22 jobs, and every one of those jobs I got into because I wanted to learn what they were doing. And
that's such a good skill. And then now you're like versatile and like many
like,
things,
you know,
and now you can teach people them.
Yeah,
like to how basic degree or whatever.
Yeah, master of none, jack of all. Like, you know, I can do a little bit of everything, which has been awesome, and it's because of being willing to meet more people like that, right?
That's definitely what I want to do in like the arts. Like same with like acting and film and music. Like it's all creative. It's all like I want to like integrate all of them. I try to integrate all of them, and I think that's really cool. But yeah, like learning like little skills like that would be.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the spice of life, right? Yeah. Like you meet people who do things that you think look cool, and you're like, would you show me how to do that?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I feel like I'm going to say ADHD, but I feel like pretty much everybody from like my generation and the ones after have like a different structured attention span.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like maybe it's because we grew up with like video and all this other shit, like, you know, TikTok and whatever else now, right? But like we're just so used to going from this to this to this to this to this to this, and like always all these different directions. So
yeah, we definitely get pulled everywhere.
Yeah, but it almost helps you be more willing to experience like the full birth of life, you know? Like,
yeah.
I
was literally talking to my therapist about this, with like how I wanted to do so many things in such little time. Like we just can't do everything, and that's ultimately called decision making and choices. But one, I'm so indecisive and I don't like making decisions. But you know, there's so much I want to do. Like I want to live like the country lifestyle and live rurally, and I also want to live the big city lifestyle. And I want to be a chef. I can't cook, but you know, like
cooking's a great one to do. It like if fucking knowing how to make good food is like.
If someone wants to teach me how to cook, I
can teach you. I can teach you how to cook. I'm not a chef, but
teach you how to cook, teach you how to meal prep. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I can't do the meal prep thing. I something about microwave heating my food after I've made it fresh. It feels wrong.
Oh really?
Yeah,
really. That's how university it's been. It's been buying frozen food, shoving it in the microwave, and then being like, dinner.
Frozen broccoli and ramen noodles. Fuck yeah, that's the student diet.
Yes.
My
You maybe like boil an egg and put that in there, but if you have the
oh,
time
if you're getting
or the energy
fancy
to
with
do
it,
that,
yeah,
if you get fancy
absolutely.
with it,
Yeah, hell yeah. A little bit. If you really want to go like 5-star ramen noodles, you
Yeah.
take a little green onion. And you just put some of that on there
Yes.
too, right? Fuck yeah, that's where
Little
it's
sprinkle.
at. Yeah. I'm your like university chef couture. Like,
in my dorm room kitchen.
yeah. Then you just salt bay a little bit of cayenne pepper on there.
Yes.
Good to go, right?
Full cuisine.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay has nothing on me.
Fuck no. There's a Ramsay burger in town, speaking of which. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
I guess he does. He has a burger restaurant, like a chain, and they just opened one at the Hard Rock Casino down on like by Coquitlam there. But all I'm hearing is that it's like astoundingly underwhelming. Like the burgers really are not that great. It got like a 3-star review on Google. Yeah.
Oh, maybe we'll have to try that out.
Right.
Maybe we'll have to try that out. Like a crew rap party, we'll try out the Gordon Ramsay.
I don't know if I want to. I feel like if I eat a burger with Gordon Ramsay's name on the restaurant, and I think to myself, Red Robin's better, it's just gonna ruin Gordon Ramsay for me.
That is true, but
he's such a
well, Gordon Ramsay isn't the one cooking the burger. It's
true.
This
true.
chain of people who made.
They're his recipes, though, right? And
yeah, that's true. That is true.
Right.
Oh well. You never know. Maybe it'll be astounding, and maybe
you're right. It might just blow my mind.
It might just be so wicked. It'll yeah.
Are there any celebrity chefs that you were like into when you were younger? Like you said,
Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay. I loved. Oh no! What was that? What's that show? It's not Hell's Kitchen.
Kitchen Nightmares.
No. Oh, what is the name of that?
MasterChef.
MasterChef. Yes, it was MasterChef and MasterChef Kids. Because when I watched it, when I was a kid, I was like, these kids who are like my age or younger than me are making gourmet stuff while I like,
microwave my pizza pop.
Microwave my pizza pop.
Yeah.
If that's even, I don't even know if you do that. I don't think you microwave. Do you microwave pizza pops?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never had like many pizza pops in my life. I've had like one.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I used to live off those when I was younger. Fuck, it's just unreal. They're really not that good either. Fuck.
Yeah.
Anthony Bourdain? Do you know any?
No, I don't.
Do yourself a favor.
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
I have a few names that I need to research. Anthony Bourdain, Beck.
Anthony Bourdain will be the most important one out of all of them. He's not with us anymore, but he was just. He's got this book called Kitchen Confidential where he talks about the whole like subculture of chefs. People didn't know that chefs lived like rock stars until this book came out. Essentially, it was kind of like a well-kept secret. But he's got these other shows, and like he goes in and, he knows like a big chef in each one of these cities. But the way he writes and talks about the cities that he's in and the food that he's eating and the music and the drink and everything is just like a full half hour of absolute poetry. And it's fucking beautiful. And like when he passed away, it's the only celebrity of any kind that I've ever actually shed a tear for when they passed away. Because like it's amazing. I'm going to start getting all emotional about it myself right now, just talking about it. It's a wild thing. But, fuck me. Jesus.
Actually, that's so nice.
Yeah, it was,
so nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of, there's certain things like music and stuff that like really get you through like some tough times. And I used to be able to watch his show, No Reservations, and just be like taken away from whatever I was in and like just.
Well, that's your inspiration. That's so cool.
Oh yeah. That's why I liked cooking as much as I did. I mean, I took 3 years of it in high school. I haven't taken any like university cooking or anything, but like it's another form of creation, right? You're jamming with smells and sounds and spices and like and like flavors and the sizzle of the pan and stuff and like.
Except my knowledge of integrating ingredients is not very good. I don't know.
All you really have to go by is colors, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, as long as you're sticking in like the same like region that you're cooking in, like it's there's
like purple and yellow might not go together, but maybe I don't know.
Eggplant and a yellow bell pepper, maybe.
I don't know.
There's
the color palette of food.
Yeah, we're getting off on a tangent here, though. Tell me something else interesting. Just tell me some fun fact about you. What's something that we haven't talked about yet?
I figure skated for 12 years of my life, and then people didn't know that, and then I posted it on my story, and I got like maybe like 30 story replies being like, "What the heck? You figure skate?" And I'm like, not very good, but it's it's enough to like, you know.
Can you jump, spin in the air, and land it, and then have the one leg out while you're landing?
Yes.
Okay, so you're better than like 90% of other people at figure skating.
I mean, than the general public, I have like a basic, but like for figure skaters, like, you know, like my prior coaches watching, they're probably like, what the hell was that form? Like,
do you?
I don't know if I can do that anymore. It's called like the axle. You probably heard of the axle. Yeah, like. Axle's like 1.5 rotation, then you land it, and then you go into the doubles, like double sow, double toe, double flip, and like double loop, and all of these and then that's 2 rotations, and then you go into your double axle, which is 2.5. Mm-hmm. So I was I worked up to like the end of my doubles. I was never enough to go into like my double axle, even though I've tried it on like what we call harness, you know, and like coaches like hold this like pole and then it like wraps around your waist and then they lift you so it gives you height, and it's like to build a skater's confidence to be able to do it off the harness.
Okay.
It's like a trial thing. But yeah, I did a double axle and I was like, that's like the wildest shit. Like, no.
That's some crazy shit though.
But like,
who were your coach? Like, did you practice out here?
I did. I went to a club. It's called the Vancouver Skating Club.
Did you?
Yeah.
How long ago did you stop?
When I moved to grade 10, I guess, like when I moved to the island because I didn't have an ice rink there, and I was like, well, that's the end of my skating career. I was never going to be an Olympian anyway, but if I...
Were any of your coaches named Sequoia or Cedar?
No.
No? Okay. There's my wife, her cousin Sequoia, she's married to a guy named Cedar, and they're both figure skating coaches.
Oh, interesting.
I think they're at the Vancouver Skating Club now, but I think they were on the island before, like out in Victoria.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's a random fact.
Yeah, I know. I'm full of them. That's the whole thing. Yeah. Being a bit of an encyclopedia.
That would be a dream to do a music video or some film on the ice. I would love to do that. That'd be really cool. You gotta hire your team to be able to like wear grippers or like some sort of like be able to skate.
You might be onto something there. Actually, that'd be cool as hell.
I would really want to do that. That'd be so fun.
Ricardo, take notes.
Yeah, Ricardo.
Potential figure skating action reel coming up here. That'd be great. That'd be so good.
Yeah.
What movies have inspired you to get into acting? Like, what have you seen that really, really? I guess we already talked about that, though, didn't we?
Which one? Into acting?
Yeah. Like when you went into acting, I guess you said you liked horror movies and stuff, but you never really gave me any specific names except for Barbie. What's your favorite horror film?
Favorite horror film. I don't like watch like them like a lot. Like I'm trying to think of like a series that I've like.
It's okay. I'll have a lot more like separately
I don't
random topic questions. It's kind of how my whole attention span works. It's the deficit thing.
Yeah.
Who's your dentist?
Oh, yeah. I don't know, but I have an appointment in a couple days. I don't know his name because like I don't know his name.
That's okay. You don't need to know his name.
You know what's funny when you go to the dentist and they just like ask you a bunch of shit and you're like, you can't. Why are they asking? Like, what?
It's like they think you can answer in sign language beforehand or something. Yeah. That's fucking hilarious. I wasn't actually serious about the dentist thing. Yeah. It's fucking great. It's just when you're writing and directing and like trying to act and being a singer and performer and like doing all these other things, I feel like it's only appropriate to be asking like random.
Oh, who's your dentist? Like at the end of the day, that's the thing that matters. Is your healthcare okay? Because we got free healthcare, so yeah.
Yeah, don't say that too much. The Americans down south might get jealous.
Oh,
I might just relegate this whole thing to specifically Canadian content.
But at least you've made it this far in the podcast.
Yeah, no shit.
This is when they click off.
Yeah, this is where you can go now. We're hitting an hour mark though, so I'm going to cut this off real quick. We can use a washroom break and
maybe we can do some piano stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you like to?
I was actually going to say I need to use the washroom. That's it.
Perfect. Do you want to just go straight into musical after this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Cool.
Let's do that.
All right.
Is there any last minute random questions that we can like speed run? No.
Okay. Yeah. Random last.
Like one
minute.
word, like no tangent. Anything that comes straight from the brain. How about we each do it to each other?
Okay. Yeah. Let's go. You go first.
Okay. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Favorite food.
Pork belly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Favorite smell.
Is this weird? I really like the smell of gasoline. I just thought of that
No, not at all. That's one of my favorites too.
Gasoline. I literally I was just talking about that like the other day. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Favorite book genre.
I have a reading disability.
The Deficit Podcast.
I mean, I have.
It's the picture ones.
I guess I could.
The
you
picture,
could say
the comic.
like comics. I do read comics.
The picture comics are like one word.
Yeah, just like the one word ones. Yeah, the really big ones. I just look at it for the pictures. No, like I can read, but I just I had a hard time reading when I was younger.
Yeah.
Comic books work pretty well. I've been reading The Tao of Pooh, which is Winnie the Pooh. It's a an author is using Winnie the Pooh as the prime example for the principles of Taoism, which is like.
I'm also reading a Winnie the Pooh book. It's a mindfulness thing. I don't know if it's the same author.
Might be the same author.
Okay, well, Winnie the Pooh is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, your go.
Okay. No, that was my question.
That was your go, wasn't it? Okay.
We kind of suck at this.
Yeah. Favorite genre?
Of?
Can't say pop.
Oh, indie folk.
Indie folk.
Actually, that's what I listen to the most.
Indie folk?
Indie folk.
Shaky Graves.
Folk. Noah Kahan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Noah Kahan, Bon Iver. Novo Amor, if that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, there's some. I'm also getting into country too, so I don't know if that's controversial, but that's what happens when you go to a small island or a small town for a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Country's coming back with a vengeance too.
I know.
It's really kicking off.
It's awesome. It is awesome. Favorite drink, alcoholic.
Whiskey.
I don't know if I can ask that. But,
no, you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Whiskey. Preferably bourbon or like a scotch, but not a peaty scotch.
Whiskey. That's so random and not wouldn't.
Oh, you want me to be specific? You want me to be like
no, it's not. It's just whiskey. Just kidding.
I thought you said you were getting more into country. I thought you'd be stoked on that.
That is true, actually. No. We like the country music. Uh-huh. We don't like. I don't know if the country food lifestyle. I don't know. Yeah.
Country lifestyle is pretty good. Out in Kamloops, there's a pretty big country scene.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Summer times by the lake.
Yeah.
Country music, whiskey, beer, not bad.
Yeah.
Not a bad time. What about you? Favorite alcoholic beverage?
Favorite alcoholic beverage?
You can't even drink it.
I can't even. I don't know if I can answer this right.
Yeah,
on camera.
Save yourself the issue. Yeah,
save my.
Don't bother with that. Yeah, I'll switch that up to favorite season and why.
Favorite season and why? Favorite season would probably be between spring and summer, like the May, June.
Nice. That's like peak green.
That's why I feel like it's just so like lifeful. I made up a new word. Dictionary, take notes of Oxford.
Okay, that I think is where we're gonna cut her. It's been just random enough to call this a deficit episode, so that's great. Thanks everyone for watching. My name's Adam Aubrey on The Deficit. This is.
Thanks for having me.
Go ahead and throw your shout outs. Like you gotta.
You can find my music on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere really, under Christina Kennedy. And then my socials, Instagram _Christina Kennedy is where I'm the most active. And YouTube, where I post my YouTube videos, is Christina Kennedy. But that's only if you want. Yeah.
And we're going to be back with a musical performance from Christina Kennedy. Woo. She's going to rock out some keys for us and show us some of her beautiful sad girl indie pop music. It'll be wonderful.
It's going to be awesome.
Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Thank
you. And subscribe. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you guys. You were right before, about my actions, about my words. And then I ignored how you felt, or maybe worse. And I'm sitting here in my pity, in my doubts, wishing you were near so I can show you how I felt. Could it have been an honest mistake, or am I just bleeding from all of the ache? Is it depression or character trait? I'm learning all the lessons and I won't be afraid. I'm learning how to be the best friend you wanted me to be, and all the shit we went through wasn't for free. I'm learning all the lessons that you taught me. Shit ain't for free. Yeah, you taught me. As we're growing up, we grew apart. We really changed. I still remember how we talked about our graduation. So could it have been an honest mistake, or am I just bleeding from all of the ache? Is it depression or character trait? I'm learning all the lessons and I won't be afraid. I'm learning how to be the best friend you wanted me to be, and all the shit we went through wasn't for free. I'm learning all the lessons. Me, shit ain't for free. Yeah, you taught me. I still remember how you smiled, how you laughed at the simplest things. Your friendship was the simplest thing. And I look back at the times when we were too scared to cry. Now I just want to cry in your arms. It's so hard. I'm learning how to be the best friend you wanted me to be,